This is Michael Tillman. Take a good look, because if you run into him, you need to know that he's one of Australia's most wanted. Michael Tillman grew up in Sydney's south, an ordinary beachside lifestyle. But this bloke had one very special talent. Police believe that Michael Davison Tillman is making his living hustling pool. Michael Tillman's not the kind of guy you'd want to meet in a pool comp. Because Michael Tillman is wanted for attempted murder. Back in 2010, Tillman was in Queensland, hanging out with his mates. What do we know about his life here on the Gold Coast?
He had links to various nightclubs within the Surfers Paradise precinct.
So is he someone that would have been known as a bit of a pool shark?
It's quite possible that that was a source of his income. His actual employment status at the time was unknown.
On the 26th of September, Tillman and his mates were at the opening of a new club called Vanity. Afterwards, Tillman, Troy Kiss and a few others continued to party on back in his Gold Coast apartment. Detective Senior Constable Michael Bradley says it was around 3 in the morning when a fight broke out.
As a result of that altercation, the victim has removed himself from the situation and caught the lift downstairs from the apartment, where another incident has taken place, resulting in the victim being stabbed 11 times.
This victim must have been in a very bad way.
He was in a very bad way. I believe the victim received a number of internal injuries and was subsequently stayed in hospital for a good period of time after the incident.
3 days later, Tillman is charged with attempted murder and bailed to appear here at the Southport Magistrates Court. These CCTV pictures presented to the court at the committal hearing recorded the events that night. Police alleged that the man in the dark top is Michael Tillman, seen here running towards where Mr. Kiss is standing. Following him is another party guest, holidaying Irish policeman Trevor Markham. After the attack, Kiss stumbles onto the road. Trevor Markham goes to help. He said in evidence at the committal hearing, "I had my hands over his ribs and it felt like bubbles were coming from the wound." The CCTV then shows a man who the police allege to be Tillman walking away. In September 2011, he's on bail and having drinks in the Benoa Tavern when a brawl starts. Police allege Tillman was involved in that brawl.
For an unknown reason, Tillman's associates were involved in an altercation with the associates of the victim, which ultimately spilled outside after security separated both parties.
During the altercation, a man was headbutted and bitten on his nose and cheek. After the attack, Tillman and his friends, what did they do then? How did they leave the venue?
Yeah, both Tillman and his associates ran through the car park and through bushland and ultimately through a creek, where it's believed that they were picked up by an unknown person later on.
Tillman is wanted in relation to the attempted murder charge in Surfers Paradise. Police also want to talk to him about the Benoa attack. Now, Michael Bradley and the police leading the hunt for Tillman are based up there on the Gold Coast, and they simply don't know where he is, but what they do know is that he's not in Surfers Paradise. They've made it far too hot for him there. The last they'd heard, he'd paid a driver in cash to take him back to Sydney, and that's where the trail went cold. That was 2.5 years ago, and despite an intensive police search spanning 2 states, Tillman has not been seen since.